I just walked off the House floor after a long week, but we passed the bipartisan infrastructure bill, sending it to the president's desk where he will sign into law historic investments in clean energy and clean water, major upgrade to high-speed internet in this country, and a transformative and historic commitment to improving public transit everywhere in the country. We also passed the rule that will allow us to vote on the Build Back Better Act, which has investments in early education, in climate action, in affordable housing, and in lowering healthcare costs before Thanksgiving. We will finish the job.
Hi everybody, Rev Sharice Davids here. Look, I just got done voting to pass the bipartisan infrastructure bill. This has been a long time coming. You know, we've been working on getting this compromise through the House. The Senate has already voted on it. Now we're going to be sending it to the president's desk so it can become law. We know that we've needed these infrastructure investments for a long time. I know I've sat in traffic on 69 highway. I know a lot of folks have worried about flooding and so many of the other issues that have really faced us because of underinvestment. Done.
Today, I'm excited to vote for the Infrastructure and Investment and Jobs Act, which will create millions of good-paying jobs and modernize our infrastructure throughout our country and the Central Coast. It will repair our roads and bridges. It will improve our public transit, and it will make significant and historic investments to our broadband and internet connectivity, as well as our clean water infrastructure. Today is an important day for our country and the Central Coast in improving the lives of Americans and working middle-class families.
Hi, it's Brad Schneider. It's about 12:30 in the morning here in Washington, but I am pleased to say I'm back in my office after voting on the bipartisan infrastructure bill that we're now sending to the president. This is a major investment in the infrastructure for our nation. Everything from roads to bridges to rails, but also broadband for our communities. Working on making sure our drinking water is safe. Our sewer systems are enhanced to deal with climate change. There are so many things, wonderful things in this package that now goes to the president's desk for signature. It was a long, hard-fought negotiation with a lot of different interests coming together and finding a way to move forward. And now we turn our attention to the Build Back Better agenda. So many things in there, from tax cuts for families with the child tax credit, addressing the SALT cap, but also preschool, universal preschool for our kids, investing in our children so that they can have a better future, investing in our communities and in adults, creating jobs and investing to tackle climate change. We have a lot of work still ahead of us, but I'm very pleased that tonight we passed the bipartisan infrastructure package and are sending it on to the president.
Hi everyone, Congresswoman Haley Stevens here, proudly representing Michigan's 11th district. Today has been absolutely significant and historic, but also instrumental for the people of Michigan. We passed an infrastructure bill. We get this infrastructure bill done. I know that the president has been so eager to sign this bill, and I want to tell you what this means for our state. Obviously, our roads, our bridges, our dams, our waterways, getting lead out of the water, taking the steps that we need to provide the funds to remove lead from our pipes, roads, bridges, also electric vehicle infrastructure investment. I'm really proud to see some of the charging begin, and we are going to lead the way in Michigan. So I know that this is an exciting moment for us. I'm really looking forward to working with all of you back home on this effort and continuing to ensure our safety and continued prosperity. Thank you all so much.
Hey everyone, it's Friday, November 5th, came to work for a vote at 8 in the morning after staying up last night at the Rules Committee to get our Build Back Better bill out of the Rules Committee and to the floor. But I'm about to go, after a very intense day and weeks really, down to the floor to vote on our infrastructure bill. This is the bipartisan infrastructure bill that came out of the Senate, and we've been holding it here to get agreement on the other big bill, the Build Back Better bills, that will deal with our human infrastructure. So a lot of negotiations today and passion, trying to get desperate caucus in the Democratic caucus in the House to come to agreement, and I believe we have. One never knows how things change in politics, and certainly in this time, and with what we're trying to do. These bills are enormously important, I think, for this country. So first, what we're about to vote on is the infrastructure bill, the bipartisan infrastructure bill. It's not the bill that we sent out of the House, and it's not the bill I would have wanted, but it's a good piece of legislation, and it's a very important piece of our investment in our infrastructure system. So we have deferred maintenance and upkeep and new infrastructure for 3 decades in my view. The civil engineers have estimated we have a $3 trillion shortfall just in maintaining our system in the United States. That's got to stop. And with this bill and this vote today that the president will sign later tonight, so it'll go into law. It doesn't have to go back to the Senate, just needs our vote and the president's signature. We will be making the largest investment in our America's infrastructure in decades, and very significant on changing our infrastructure as well. A huge investment in changing our infrastructure away from fossil fuels and towards renewable and alternative fuels, battery electric vehicles, and all of the infrastructure that needs to get those the renewable energy sources, wind, solar, through the system to the plug, or hydrogen fuel cells, which are also, we've got infrastructure for that. I've been very involved with this. My bill was incorporated into our bill. That's $7.5 billion. So I often tell people the Chinese are adding 100,000 charging stations a month. The United States has 42,000 in totality. And this bill will start to catch up to the Chinese on this, just as we have to on the whole new energy, clean energy, climate improving energy with good paying jobs, union jobs for Americans' workforce for today and for generations to come. Really exciting to be part of this. So I'm going to get down after a couple of hard fought but productive days here in the Capitol, and I'm just really proud and really proud of representing the people I represent, hardworking Californians who aren't afraid of the future. We in California, we run towards the future. And this bill today, and the one that we will pass a week from Monday as part of the agreement between those of us in the progressive side of the House and our more moderate colleagues from around the country, that's the agreement. We're going to get more robust numbers for them that they required. I don't think that they were required given the evaluation we've already had on both, but that's what we do in politics. We listen to other sides and we compromise, and these are too significant for us not to succeed with. So I'm tired, but I'm really excited, and I just want to share that with you as I go down and vote on this, and look forward to a week from Monday voting on its twin that will really transform this country for generations to come. Great work by the president, great work by the speaker, hard work. And let me just finish one last thing. Nothing like this has been accomplished here with this kind of news that we have now. It used to be a news cycle. Now it's news. So as I pass the reporters from around the country and the world here in the halls coming in and out of meetings, you've got to remember that a lot of these kind of bills were negotiated in a different era in terms of the distribution of information about what was happening here. Much slower, more deliberative, in my view, more thoughtful. But this is the world we live in. So when I hear the angst of us fighting amongst one another, I don't see that. I see good, intense human interaction that sometimes is stressful, frequently. But that's what democracy in the legislative process is about, and it's one of the reasons I love it. So thank you for letting me be here tonight to go down and take that vote for you. We're not afraid of the future. We're running towards it.